Hello, hello, hello. Look at this. We have everybody here on time. I am so impressed. Johnny, you get brownie points. Glenn, I know, is an angel that is never late. Hello. Hello to you both. I can't hear you, Glenn. It's unusual. Now, guys, I'm just going to let you know that we're recording the conversation. And I'm so delighted because, Glenn, these times are so valuable. We may end up using this as a training, taking snippets from this and using it as training. At the very least, Jono, we can give you the transcripts. We can give you the video so that you can refer to it.
Done.
And how have you been, guys?
Great. I've been really good. How have you been, Nora?
Oh, look, wouldn't be dead for quids. So blessed. Little light on sleep, but apart from that, I'm wonderful. Glenn, what about you?
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you, Glenn.
Perfect. Okay. New office, getting all set up. That's all.
This is good. So where's the office?
Here. So just getting everything set up. That's all.
That's good. Well,
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for making the time. I know your days are very full as well.
It's all right.
Thanks for joining, Glenn. How have you been?
That's all right. Yeah, good. Had some wins and had some losses this week. So, that happens, I guess, in the world of sales. We're at the process where we're tendering for things, and I found out this week that I didn't get one of them, and that makes me a little bit sad. But it reminds me that it's part of the process to, if you reminds me of someone who thought that they would get their business up and running in 4 weeks, and that was my first tender, and it would have been. My best guess is it'd probably be around 5 mil, and per year for a 3-year contract, and with a 2-year option. And I spent quite a bit of time on it. Ended up being 58 pages, and I didn't get it, but that's okay. What I learned by it was to read the whole brief, and the whole brief was that they wanted 5 different services. What I didn't realize was that they wanted a company that did all 5. So they'll end up being picked up by someone like Jim's, and Jim's franchise will palm it all out to little people. So anyway, other than that,
$1 million, Glenn. Wow.
yeah. So it would have, I don't know about you. You come across the same way as me, Jono. I say yes to things and then work out how to do them afterwards, and that's the way I learn. Because I don't think it's really tough when you have a big task. You still just break it down into small chunks that you can handle, and sort of go, okay, well, I can handle that much, right? So that's just 17 of those put together. That's all. But if you think it's too big and too overwhelming, that's a mind shift thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
And you'll never go for those. In fact, one of my contacts told me that he said that he thought that someone wanted to do the whole, they want someone to do the whole thing. But if I have learnt anything, if I listen to other people and don't have a go at something, I'll always regret it. Always regret it. Whereas if I have a go at something and a swing and I miss out, I'm okay with my failures. I can live with those. I can't live with doing something somebody else told me to do, and it not working out. That resonate with you at all?
Yeah, 100%. And was this a big corporate job?
Yeah, was big fucking job. So we're going for something similar next Wednesday.
Sounds good.
But then you've had quite a few wins too, Glenn, right?
Yeah. It's funny when you're in flow, you don't worry about the losses, because we clean a school, and I like it because we're in there every day, and we do the school upstairs, and then we do the college downstairs. And the lady that looks after and runs all the contracts gave us some feedback that the principal of the school was outraged at some of the bathrooms. They had an event there and they're disgusting. We went into meltdown and sort of went, hang on a tick, let's just have a look at that. We looked at our systems, checked the GPS to make sure the cleaners were there for the required time. Turns out they are. I'm like, that's very weird. 2 hours later on, she rings and says, listen, I'm so sorry. It was the wrong school. It was Liverpool, not Newcastle. And I went, right. So are you having problems at Liverpool? She said, yes. I said, well, guess what? We could do that as well. So we're now tendering for that job. So we thought we were being wasn't looking good, but as it turns out, it's an opportunity. And so how you handle anything that comes your way, that's what people look at and reflect at. So even the people that might be saying no to you now doesn't mean it's no forever. It just means with the information that they've got, based on their circumstances that they're in, they're saying no. So don't see any money in this. I've already got a lot of bills at the moment. I'm going to say no. Right.
And that's exactly what I found.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about what's sort of going on
with the caravan repair market.
Well, since we've last seen you, what's sort of going on for you? I've just vented, 5 minutes to make sure that I'm clear. I'm in the space now. I'm 100% yours. So, tell me what's happened in your week.
So I've seen another couple caravan repair service people, and the main thing is that they've never dealt with mold before. So I've had to learn that I need to address mold better and be sort of an expert on it, but at the same time, just make them realize that they can sell it, even though they haven't gotten any inquiries yet or they haven't dealt with it before. For example, through email marketing, through promoting it through their website or the socials, and there might be someone out there. And in both of the scenarios, I mentioned your situation, how there's actually proof out there that caravans have mold, and it is a bit of a tipping point for them. And they're like, yeah. I explained how caravans can be sitting there for months or a year, and they can be built up with dust and mold, dust and humidity, which creates mold. I explained to them that our product not only does the surface cleans, but our differentiator is that it clears mold spores. And they're like, fuck, all right, fair enough. But yeah, the 5K bundle is just a big shock for them. And I've mistakenly said that they can use more than one in a van, but I need to explain that they use one in a van, because I was saying they use it in the living room and the bathroom, but Nora told me they can use just one for the whole van.
Correct.
And pretty much, I just have to explain that they're buying 3, but they're using one, and they're going to use the others if they have multiple jobs in a day, or they can also sell them off. And explain the situation where it's $15.97. If you don't get any jobs, you can then just sell them off and break even. Yeah, the biggest rejection is money, because obviously the market's quiet. But yeah, their industry is always going to keep going because of the amount of caravans that are in the market. So They just got to find people from old. But yeah, no one's actually dealt with it before.
So let me see if I've got this right. Someone, and how often, by the way, would you have chatted to these? I mean, how many people have you spoken to
in total now, or since we last spoke?
since we last spoke?
All right, Brilliant, Ozflex, One Stop, A Grade. I've spoken to a couple cleaners, but that didn't count. In terms of the caravan people, 5.
Okay, so 5. And what sort of relationship? A scale of 1 to 10. 1 being a poor relationship with them, and 10 being they're like my best. They trust me implicably.
I've known 3, and that's probably like a 6 or a 7.
Okay.
And then the rest were, or actually, 2 I've approached for the first time, but 1 knew our company, and that was like a 9 because we got on straight away. And he's the only one that's pretty interested because he knows he can make money.
Sorry, you got on straight away, or
yeah, we got on straight away.
I'm talking about trust.
Yes.
Okay, that you're talking about rapport. I'm talking about trust. Trust is very different.
Yes, I'm talking about trust.
Okay, all right. Okay, so let me just run this past you and see if I've got a good handle of it. You've approached 5 people.
Yep.
They trust you on a level of around about 5 or 6 for 3 of them, and 1 and 2 were brand new. And within that first time of chatting to them, you've talked to them about a product that they don't have any general inquiries about, and then you've told them that they can make money through it, and it's only 5,000. Does that sound like about right?
I've got to structure it better as I run through.
Let me just find out. Have I got a good handle of that?
Yes, yes.
Sort of way. Right. All right. So
but one
run through it one more time.
You guys didn't show any interest at all. They were just like, oh, the market's down. No one's going to spend that. I don't know about this shit. I don't want it.
Okay.
But yeah.
I've got a stack of information for you. Number 1, when someone says no, my classic response is, thank God. Thanks, John, for saying no. Now that we've got that out of the way, no, you don't want to buy this product. Can I ask why?
Yep.
And then just shut up and listen. All right. This is where they tell you what's really going on for them. Right. Well, I don't have 5K. You haven't shown me that there's enough of a need or call for it. Okay.
Yep.
So get really good at when someone says no, sort of thing. Thank goodness it's off the table. So there's no selling here. Even if you beg me to, I won't sell to you. So let's just forget about the sale. But I know you're in business, and so feedback is so important. Can you tell me in your words, right, why? So I can learn, because they'll want to help you. All right. And that's really gold that comes out of the mouth. So look for the no's. There's a great book called Go for No. And what it talks about is you keep on asking questions until they say no. And then you go, right, okay, well, let me find out, well, what's really going on. But it also works on percentages too. Because if you talk to 10 people, McDonald's knows that if they ask 10 people, do you want to upsize? 7 will say no, and 3 will say yes. And it's a $3 billion business just in the upsell, right? But you have to ask 10 people. You can't just ask the first 3 people, because you know 3 people are going to say yes. You have to ask 10 in order for the 3 to say yes. And you don't know which ones are happening. You could get 7 no's in a row. To that, I get really excited. When the 7th person tells me no, I'm like, yes. Why are you so excited? Well, law of averages, the next 3 people are going to say yes. And actually, I just wanted to speed this particular process up. So see ya, and then go. It also changes your demeanor too, because you don't hold on to, I've got to make this work, the sale. Now, there's only 3 of us on the call, but I know someone else that used to really hold on to, you know, the got to get it, right? And when you're in that particular mindset, people can pick up on it.
Yep.
And they lose their confidence.
They feel the energy.
Yeah, that's right. So if you're sort of saying, well, listen, I don't care if you don't buy or not. That's not what I'm here for. I'm actually here to see if you actually have a problem. All right. And my problem is, do you want better engagement through your customers? Like, what do you mean? Well, how often do you reach out to your customers? Do you only reach out when you've got repairs? All right. Do you even, I mean, do you ever even talk to them about what else can we help you with? All right. Now, when Nora first told me, can you come on a call with Jono? I said,
Yeah. No, I haven't fed the dog. Sorry, guys.
that's right.
Yes.
I said, okay, so do you remember, Nora, what I said? I said, oh, that's right, about the petrol station. I said, if you were running low on petrol, would you go into a chemist? Why not?
They don't sell petrol,
They
right?
don't sell petrol. They don't even have a sign to say petrol sold here, right? If you need an FPOS machine, they're really hard to see these days, right? And you're driving along the freeway and there's a petrol station that says FPOS, you know, oh, great, I'll stop in here, grab some petrol, but I can also get some cash out. So what I was referring to there is they have to let their customers know, hey, we've got mold. Sorry, we now service mold, right? Now, do you believe in this particular product?
Myself?
Yeah.
100% for the cleaners.
Great. So what if you reverse engineer it and go, okay, all I've got to do is have proof of concept.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, most people want to get a business up and running. They think, okay, well, I need to buy the stock. I need to get a website. I need to get business cards. I need to get all my stationery. And I'm going, you don't need to do any of that. All you need to do is find out if there's someone out there with a problem. Once you've got someone out with a problem and going, well, listen, if we had a mold kit here, we could help you with that. So if the education from you was, look, I do sell these 5K bundles, right? But I want to find out from your customers right now, even if you've got a need for this particular product. So how about we do this? How about you market to your clients and sort of say, listen, we're always looking to value add. Have you ever packed away your caravan and then gone to get it out, ready for the next season, and you found a little bit of mold there? And ask them if they ever have. And the ones that say yes, going, if we could solve that particular problem for you and had the van turned around within 24 hours, would you be interested? Because if they get 10 people coming back from responses like that, you go, great, see, I've just built your demand. Now they have 10 people going, yeah, we would be interested. So what sort of email marketing are you talked about before? What sort of email marketing do you do yourself for your business or?
More about hardware product.
Okay. So what do you use, a software or?
If only I could send you the one we did today. We did one today.
Mm-hmm.
So we posted a new product on our Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
And we just put this video up and we said new fold down hooks available.
Yeah.
And we just had the different sizes and colors and then pictures of it. And then if you click on it, it goes to our Instagram. And then we had the prices of it. So it's just this video.
Move it across closer. There we go. Stop. Yep. Yep. Okay, I can see the hooks. Yep. Perfect. So that went out on your social?
Yep.
And what did they have to do to buy it? Click on the link and straight through to the e-commerce site.
They'll have to inquire.
Okay. And do you generally get inquiries from those types of posts?
Not on the caravan side of the business, honestly, but on the window furnishing side of the business, we do a lot because we send that to about 150 people when the blind side is like over 1,000.
Okay. And when you're talking with, these 5 companies, do they have any social pages?
Yeah, but they're pretty shit.
Right. And do they do any type of email marketing?
They do, but not much.
Okay. But not much. And do they have any, when you walk into, their shop, to drop off your caravan in the weight room, do they have any posters or signs or anything like that? Or
Yeah, they sell a lot of product
okay.
and they have a lot of signs.
Okay. And have you ever thought of putting up a poster that said, "Have you ever had mold in your caravan? Tell us." Even if you created,
I like that.
the brochure itself and had them standing there, right, and then a QR code or something like that, how they came back to Jono, and then they could go straight through to a Google web form or something like that. That's all free. Do you use Google products or Microsoft?
Both.
Both. Okay. Well, Google, if you're part of their infrastructure, a Google web form is free. All right.
They're great. Yeah.
And you could just build a QR code that goes straight through there, and you could just write, where did you hear about this? Where did you see the poster? All right. Because when you do that, you can ring them up and say, let's just say Nora's the caravan repairer, and you get the inquiry. You could ring up Nora and say, "Hey, Nora, we've just had, Glenn Kirkwood, who's, he's obviously got a caravan in your shop or whatever, and he's scanned the QR code saying that he's had mold problems. All right. Are you in a position to start looking around and taking a few photographs for us? Because I could prepare a quote and show you how much money you could make from that." And if you've got like 10 forms out there, that means that every person that's going in with a caravan for repair is sitting there in the weight room when they go to pay the bill, right? Or drop it off. Here are the keys. I'll pick it up in 2 weeks' time or whatever. All right.
So just a sign, no actual kit, just a sign.
No, because if you believe in the process, right? Let's just build the demand.
True.
I know the demand's there because we get inquiries all the time. Right? We go and do jobs all the time. Right? So they're just not going to their caravan repairer because the caravan repairer has never said we can help treat mold.
Yeah. So to a Google Doc.
So it'll be just Google form.
Yep.
Yep.
No, I really like it.
Yeah, so build the demand.
Yeah.
So what I would be doing is just sort of saying, God, I've lost it. Here we are. Sort of saying, look, I get how you're not ready yet, but if I could show you that your customers, right, are interested and they would buy it, could we have a conversation down the track? Can I help you make money first, and then we can talk about sales later on? So you've already got a kit. Have you ever used any one of these kits?
No, not yet, but I should have.
Okay. So, yeah, because you'll want to know on how to turn it on, all that sort of thing. It's quiet, how easy it is. I plug all mine usually inside the caravan, seal it all up. See you tomorrow, come back, do a wipe down, and we're done. $1,000, thanks. All right. And I did some sums after last time we had a call, and on average, they range between $950, I think was our cheapest caravan, and our dearest was, I think we charged $1,500. And on average, the time that we're actually in there, I think the longest job was 2 hours and 5 minutes, and the shortest job was about 15 minutes. So that means for 15 minutes work, we made $950. All right. And even for the 2 hours worth of work, it was about 1,500, which is still good
was
hourly rate.
What was the difference in the pricing between 950 and 1,500? Was it a glamping van, or was it?
No. One of them we had to do a wipe down of all the had to pop it up and open it all up, right? And then we had to get inside, and actually it had like a canvas sort of shower, an upstairs sort of section. So it probably just took longer to get in and do all that. Like some of them have like these little sleeping quarters, right? That's above like a ute or whatever. And it's not like a normal bedroom where you just got, you know, the walls and you can get with a wall mop, you know, because they're too tiny to get like a mop. So you have to sometimes do it by hand, right?
With that biodegradable towel, that cloth.
Microfiber cloths, yep.
Microfiber cloth, sorry. Yep.
Yep. So so that's what I'd be doing. I'd be trying to build the demand and show them, prove to them, because it's very different when they've gone, right, okay, so now I actually have people inquiring, and your positioning is, hey, mate, I just want to help you make money.
True.
All right? You know, you don't actually have to pay for our product until you already get an inquiry. So if they fill in the form, I will ring you and sort of say, hi, Nora, you know, it's Jono. We've got Glenn Kirkwood. He's in there. He's got his van in there. He's filled in a form that sort of saying he's got mold. So what I need you to do is to go and take a couple of photographs, right? And of the pictures of mold, right? And then I'll tell you roughly how long it'll take you to clean something like that and how much money you can make, right? Now, I'll send it to Nora, but actually I might be able to add it to here. One of our, how would I say, not referral partner, but one of the people we get to clean air conditioners for us, I rang him and said, listen, Brent, actually, let me explain the whole story. We did a big job at Kmart. It was 50 grand. And as part of that process, they needed us to look after this air conditioner, right? And the air conditioner was huge. It was as big as a room, right? With a big motor and coils and all that sort of thing. And I knew jack about air conditioners. Even the wording, you got to clean the pelham. I'm like, what the hell's the pelham, right? So I walked into the room and gone, shit, this looks big. This could take 20 hours to clean. I better call an air conditioning guy. Speak to this guy, Brent. He comes in and says, yep, no problems. We can do that. I'll charge you $1,000. I'm like, oh, okay, that's good, because I've charged Kmart 10. So I'm really in front, all right? Anyway, I really liked him. He came outside of hours. He was very prompt and stuff like that. So about 2 weeks later on, he had 2 factory units and he asked us to quote on them. So we did. And he said, Glenn, I'm sorry, you know, you've missed out on the quote. And a little bit more expensive than the other company. We've gone with them. No problems. I've rung him up several months ago and so said, hey, Brent, hope things are well. I need you to come and quote on doing 31 air conditioners out at a retirement village. He's like, really? I'm like, yeah, mate, you're a great supplier, so I want to give you business. 2 months later on, I ring him and sort of say, listen, mate, I've been thinking about you a lot lately. I'm wondering if you could provide me with a document that shows my cleaners how we could identify work for you. He's like, what do you mean? I said, well, you clean air conditioners, right? Like the 31 you did in the age facility. He said, why don't you take a couple of photographs for me, all right, of bad units and what you did and stuff like that. And I will pass that around with my cleaners and we'll train them on how to identify jobs for you. Okay. He's like, great. So I told him when the sales meeting came, I gave him the feedback going, hey, the pamphlet, which I'll find and send to you, is a huge hit. And he rings me and says, hey, Glenn, we are letting go of the other cleaners and we want you to come back and clean the 2 units. I said, oh, okay, that'd be great. Look, our pricing's changed a little bit. We're a little bit more than we were before. And he's going, Glenn, fine. I said, what made you decide to go with us? He said, we've been getting a lot of feedback from one of the units has a lot of hairdressers in it that are starting up. So they rent like a chair and a mirror sort of thing from. So he has about 10 girls in there. And he said, I've been getting a lot of feedback from our clients that it's not as clean as it could be. I said, I tell you what, how about I come in and I talk to them to find out what's important for them? Because if they get what they want, he will we'll be able to clean that. He said, wow, that's fantastic. I spoke to 2 of them, and there's nothing more that we would have done. It's just that the hairdressers needed to feel heard. So if they feel like they're a part of the process, they're like, I already like this company. They haven't even cleaned for us, and they're asking us how can we help them and make their salon look good? Because they're just starting out in their business, right? They've just finished their apprenticeship. They don't have a shop yet. They've been able to rent like a chair and have their customers come in, and they're seeing little things like that. And they don't want that. They want it all nice and new and pretty. So they're already feeling heard. They signed us on the spot for 12 months. And I'm dearer than I was before. And I was already dearer. All right. So it's got nothing to do with the money. It's got everything to do with me making the extra visit to listen to his customers, to sort of say, yep, this is how you can give us feedback. We'll have a little QR code. You can fill in a form. Oh, that's fantastic. These are the things that bug us. So I learn everything that bothers them. Now, we will go in there for, say, 2 hours every week. And if they put something extra on the form, we'll clean that first, and we may not get to all of our tasks. But each one of those hairdressers doesn't really care about the last task. They care about the task that's important to them, that they've pointed out. And it's silly things like a mark on a floor. They've seen it there for 3 weeks. When are the cleaners going to get there? So they've been festering about this thing for 3 weeks. All right. So if you can identify to your caravan people that, wow, okay, so he's really here to help me make money, right? And when they see enough interest, you will have no problems moving 5K kids or multiple kids, right? Because right now, your biggest objection is they don't think there is a market for mold.
Correct.
So they're not outlaying $5,000 when they're already, cash sensitive for a product that they don't even have anybody asking.
Yep.
Now, you may not have ever heard him. There's a guy called Justin Herald. Justin Herald runs a brand called Attitude. And it's a labeled brand, and he's worth about $19 million. And all he does is really T-shirts. Okay. This is where I got this from. He basically he's a bit of a thug, tattoos, that sort of thing. But his father is a minister, and he's sitting in church, and he just liked wearing shirts in church that pissed off all the churchgoers.
Okay.
Because it basically was about pissing off his old man, right? So they'd wear, brand names and stuff like that. So they decided to come up with their own shirts. Now, they printed out a couple, and a couple of friends of them bought them. But then they thought, wow, we could really make a mozza. We just got to go around to all the retailers, the surf shops and all that sort of thing, and sell them. And, of course, all the surf shops said, no, haven't had anybody asking for Attitude, so we're not going to stock it. It was like ridiculous. So he just called up a couple of his mates and said, walk into that shop and start asking for Attitude shirts.
This
all
is
right?
genius.
And then a month later on, he came back and he said, yep, I'll stock them. Everybody's been asking about them.
You're onto something, Glenn.
All right. So you've got to create the demand because they're small in their thinking. How are we going to make money? We're trying, and they're just working longer hours, right? But really, the answer's right in front of them. They got a guy there, 8 hours a day, 365 days a year, 365 days a year. 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 365 days a Jono who wants to help them or wants to move mold kits, but first he's got to show them that there is a demand for them. Is that sort of what you're after on the call?
100%. Yeah, my thing with the 5K bundles is that it was just a bit confusing for them.
Yeah.
But yeah, as we were saying, they can use it for multiple vans or multiple jobs and on-sell the kits. The thing is, they were saying how they themselves wouldn't pay $15.97 for the camper kit, and they'll probably only pay around max $400-500. So, yeah, that's just another question I have.
So they don't actually have a mold problem themselves that they've experienced firsthand.
None of them, Nora.
Yeah, no, that's okay. Because anyone who's actually lived with mold, to have a solution that works, they're like, yeah, sign me up. So I get where they're coming from.
And remembering that people, the beauty about this is when people go away camping, who do they go camping with? Like
their family.
Their family, all right? So it's the people that they love. No one's taking their enemies and people that they hate, putting them in a really tight, small space and living with them for a week, okay? So they're taking their families. Now, one thing I've learned is when we sell mold, we ask people, is it aesthetics? You don't like the way it looks? Or is it because of a health reason? And as soon as they say health reason, I go, ka-ching, because people will pay a lot more for their health than they will what it looks like.
Yep.
So I agree with you. When it comes down to it, just a black mark, they look and going, oh, it's just mold. I'm like, no problems. All right. We wish you all the very best. They go to Bunnings, they buy, $10 squirt bottle, and they squirt it, they wipe it, and then they ring me up again 3 months later on. If I've created a good relationship with them,
yep,
right? Then because now they've got a problem in that they've got mold, they've tried to get rid of it themselves, so now it's worth more to them. Before, it was just like, well, surely you've just got to spray some stuff and wipe it, which is true. The stuff you get from Bunnings, which is $10 or something like that, called mold exit or something like that, is a very toxic chemical, but sprays, and it does get rid of mold.
So it does.
It doesn't kill mold, but it gets rid of it, right?
Yeah.
So in 48 hours, that's right, it starts growing back, and they say, yeah, we've got mold. We've tried to get rid of it themselves. Here's another key. We've tried to get rid of it, but it keeps coming back.
Yes.
I'm like, ka-ching, because they're the red flags that I listen to, because now I know they've tried to do it, right?
Yep.
Someone who's got no experience, right, is not worth your time. And I think I said to Norah, has Jono spoken to some people, or has he bought a bundle, or has he done something? All right. And this is my exact words. I'm like, if he hasn't done something, I'm not spending any more time, and you shouldn't either. All right. But because he does put time and effort into it, that means he's got some skin in the games. He's got some stories about some things that worked, some things that didn't work. Now you can have a real conversation. Tell me what you're saying, and I'll tell you what worked for me. And that's a conversation. But if you haven't tried anything, it's just information, me just spewing out. It means nothing to you.
100%. You guys are then just wasting your time.
Correct. So sometimes it's the same for the people that try and get rid of mold themselves. Like, oh, it's just a cloth and a rag, isn't it? I'm like, no problems. You know what? You can get a product called Exit Mold at Bunnings. It's about $10. Hey, if things don't work out and you need, decide, keep my card. I'm happy to answer any questions for you. Right. And because we leave them with the thinking like, oh, that guy was cool. He helped us out. He told us where we could buy a product. I told them where they could get a product that's crap, but I told them where they can get a product, right? And when how do you put it on? Oh, well, you got to use a microfiber cloth and you got to spray it literally and do that. Oh, okay, great. Thank you for being so helpful. Now, I personally wouldn't use that, right? But that is a way to get the mold off. And look, if it does come back or something goes wrong, give us a call back, right? Because I use different products. So they do. They feel like they don't want to ring and find on Yellow Pages, somebody else, because they've already got my number. And they're like, oh, Glenn, you may not remember me. I rang you about 3 months ago. Yep, I remember you because it comes up on my phone. Dickhead who didn't buy mold products from me, right? That's actually nice. I actually put them in with not so nice words. So I know they've already rung us. By the way, that's the same how I know people who are ringing around. Because sorry, what was your name again? Jono? Jono didn't buy. So when Jono didn't buy rings again, I'm like, hello, Jono, how are you? How do you know it's me? Well, you've actually spoken to us before. And because we're under several companies, right? So anyway,
Glenn, how many caravans have you done?
Probably 20. I think it was 22. It's more than 20, but less than 30.
And how did you get all those jobs?
People just Googled us.
Really? And it just came up because
that's all.
You have
that's all it was. It was just
And
mold. Some, how to mold, caravan and mold. They went to our website, or they went to Google business page, and from there.
yeah, that's just a little spill I want to have, because I believe that if they put it on their website and they do email marketing again, and they do what you said with the Google Doc, there has to be some demand in fucking Australia.
Yeah, of course there is.
And yeah, I'm taking it to the show. I'm taking it to a hardware show. The kit.
Okay.
I was in contact with Amy Nora. I was in contact with Amy.
Oh yeah, you're going.
And I got a spot at the show.
Good.
And I'm gonna have Nature's Defense as the biggest push. And I was just thinking that if there's so many SEO hits a month on mold, there has to be some caravan people with it. And if I can get now caravan repair people putting it on their websites, doing email marketing, they put some money into SEO. Even if they don't, they can just have it on the website. Where I'm trying to go with this is that I'm going to go to the show, and apparently 1,000 people minimum are there, and they're all going to see it. They're going to get direct to my website, and I'm going to have it on there as well, the camper kit. And I'm going to put it through my socials, and I'm also going to do an email marketing to myself. So there has to be some demand there. And yeah, at $15.97, it is a bit much, but yeah, hopefully there's some bites.
There's, and Glenn, I don't know how you highlight this, but some way that you tie in the fact that caravans are for families. Families have children. Children are vulnerable.
Yeah.
Do you have children with asthma? Do you have children with immune issues?
Yeah. So the advice I want now is the show's on the 1st of June. How do I sell it to the end consumer? Because I'll be at the stand with the other rep. We're going to have we're going to have the fold down hooks, a couple of innovative items of ringing, but our main push will be Nature's Defense. So how do I sell it to the end consumer to buy a kit then and there?
Okay, so I'm going to share with you a story and then give you the pitch at the end.
Done.
So I, a couple of years ago, used to drive a beautiful white convertible Porsche, right? And I'm sitting in the chair of my physio, right? And I'm waiting for my appointment. The physio comes out and he brings a guy with the shirts, and it's got all these tire brands all over it, right? And the physio comes out and goes, "Oh, look, hi, Glenn." Says to the tire guy, "You have to chat to this guy, Glenn. If you're looking to grow your business, he will help you because he's helped me grow my physio business." And I just looked up, saw the shirts, and said, "Oh, you obviously sell tires." And he said, "Are you in the market?" And I said, "Well, no, not really. I just bought some Pirelli P0s." And he said, "Oh, okay. What sort of car do you drive?" And I said, "I drive a Porsche." And he said, "We could have saved you money." And I said to him, "Stop right there. If you think I bought that car to save money, you're talking to the wrong person, because this thing is a money pit, right? I've just spent the brakes $2,500 just for the front brakes, and now I've got to do the back brakes." And he said, "Do you drive around with your family?" And I said, "No, it's just a two-door convertible," right? He said, "What tires do you put on your family's car?" And I said, "I don't know. The missus drives a Subaru." And he goes, "Okay, so you are happy to spend, $1,000 on a tire and $2,500 for brakes, and you don't know what you put in your family's car and tires?" And I went, "Wow, no, I don't. I should be spending about the same amount of money, shouldn't I?" Right? So my point being in that when it comes down to, before that, I would just put on, $49 tires on the Subaru, right? Mm-hmm. And hang on one sec. Hey, I'm on a call, a Zoom call. Can I call you back?
Just a quick one.
No, I can't. I have to call you back.
Okay,
I'm speaking. Bye.
Subaru tires.
Yes, but so in regards to putting the kit there, if the families are the ones going around in these camper vans, right, and you want to pitch to them because they're the ones that will have no problem spending, $2,000 for their family's health. All right. So my pitch should be something like, do you sometimes just bring the caravan home and just pack it up and don't use it till the end of the season, till the next season, right? Are you wanting to make it safe for your family? Do you get the brakes checked? Do you check the tires, right? How do you know that it's not already got a lot of mold in it and you're going to spend 8 hours to 10 hours a day living inside this with your family, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you realize that kids' lungs don't develop until they're 18? No. So if you're going to be sleeping in an environment where, it could be a mold breeding ground, how much is your health worth to you?
Spending 8-10 hours a day. Yep.
How much is your kids' health?
Did you know?
How much your kids are?
Yes.
And these are all the little nuggets that Norah, you on a Monday when you're pitching out, be just dropping gold nuggets like that. How do you pitch, selling kits? Well, it's not pitching the kit, because that's all the features and the benefits, right? As soon as that tire guy pitched to me, right, about my family's stopping power, because I know the Porsche just stops on a dime. I know this because I was doing 170 and I slowed down to about 125, and the copper that pulled me over was amazed at how quickly I could bring it to a stop. All right. I still got a fine, but he was impressed. The Subaru, if it's driving around on the rain and there's oil on the road, it wouldn't have pulled up. And once I realized that, I never went cheap tires again on the Subaru ever. I sort of said, what is the best? My questioning was different. It's you need new tires, Glenn. I'm like, okay, what is the best tire on the market for the Subaru? The one that slows them down the fastest. He went, oh, it's this one. Great, get those.
Yeah.
And all it was is it's a mind shift going, do I care about my family? Do I love them? Of course I do. Okay. Then why are you putting pissy $49 budget tires on them? Could mean 20 meters, Glenn. They'd be under a truck by then. Will you really care about the $70 or $100 then? Fuck no. So you've got to put it into their perspective. You're going away on this great holiday, right? The last thing you want is little Johnny coughing all the time.
In the economy we're living in,
yeah,
people aren't spending at all. And the people that own caravans are all middle class. My question to Norah is, how do we get to $15.97 for the camper kit? Do you reckon there will be a good conversion with people even after all that pitch at $15.97 for it?
We're selling it now, Jono.
Really, that's good.
So here's the thing: don't pitch it at 15, right? Pitch it at.
Hey, put it up. Give a discount.
No. Pitch it at $60. Because really, that's what it is, right? They're buying the kit, right? Which, by the way, lasts a lifetime, right? So that's not a real cost. The cost for them is the oil.
I like that.
All right, and so they'll set it up, use the oil, and that'll be, I don't know, Nora's got it for $60, right?
Yep. Yep.
And that's what it is. They will use that kit for 10 caravans for their entire caravan camping trip again. Right?
Yep.
So that's what it is. Each season, $60. That's what I'd pitch it at. Now, to buy the bundle, all right, and to get yourself set up, here's the full kit. You get the diffuser, you get this, you get this, you get this, right? That's $15.97, right? And you would only need to use one oil every season. $60.
How many times can they use one bottle?
Once.
Okay.
So they probably wouldn't have to in a caravan. Nora's formula is 1 15 ml bottle of oil per 90 square meters, right?
Mm-hmm.
So a caravan is be lucky if it's 10 to 15.
Meters.
Yeah. All right. So really, one bottle of 15 ml oil, they probably only need to use a quarter of it.
Yeah, and that's where I'm also going to put the bottles on the website, on my website, and if other people put on the website, just so people can go back and buy them again.
Yeah, reorder them.
And make sure you sell them at $90, Jono, because you'll buy them at 60.
Yep.
So sell them at 90 or pick a price. But yeah.
So Glenn, are you talking about the spray being $60 then? What was?
Oh no, I was just saying Nora had it for $60, so that's what it is in my head, right?
So I'm selling them that first for $60.
Well, I think you buy it for $59.75 or $60, and if you're selling it, you'll sell it for $90, right?
90. So am I starting with like this is $90?
Yeah,
is that what
just sort of saying, hey, listen, what it is per season is $90.
Okay.
Now, a client today asked me, when could we, Don, he's got a house in Hamilton and his garage out the back, he's like converted into a garage loft sort of thing. And it's beautifully done, but it's riddled with mold. And it's only happened in the last 3 weeks. So I've had a look around the house and identified that moisture is coming down one particular wall. I think there's a gutter problem, and the water is going into the easement and leaking down inside the wall. He said, okay, well, look, I've got to do something about it. I said, right, okay. He said, when could you do it? I said, well, that's the thing, mate. all the diffusers, and I have 4, are out at the moment. So we wouldn't be able to get to your job until the end of next week, right? So even if you wanted to buy today, our diffusers are, we've got 2 in one home and 1 in each of the other homes. We have to then go and pick those up, and then they've got to go out in other jobs. So, why I'm telling you this is because I'm sort of going, more people than ever in the last 2 weeks have really wanted to deal with airborne mold. Less on the wiping down. They've all been worried about breathing it. So when people see visible mold in their caravans, you just sort of say, well, you're going to be breathing that for the next week. Do some research online. And when you're ready, go to our website and purchase a kit. It's only going to cost you $90 per season.
Yep.
Now, you've got to buy the kit to get you started, right? But that's all it's ever going to be. $90 to make sure that your family's safe before you chuff off and go away for the camping that season.
Done. Okay, so how should I set up this stand? Should I have a QR code on those facts?
Definitely have a QR code on the brochure that's going to take them to the website and the inquiry form. And Mythbuster facts, I don't know if I've sent you down this.
Have.
Yep.
So print those out?
Yep. Print those out and use them. You've seen this one, Glenn?
I have. I was just thinking then, if you built one form, Jono, and had a QR code and built it so that if you've got a mold problem and want your free checklist, scan here
Yes.
and enter your details, we'll send it to you. And in part of that form, I would have, if you had to get your caravan repaired, would it be at any of these? And list the people that you've already got or other. Because you could have people going to the show, right, that are already customers of the 5 people you've spoken to, right, and can already say, hey, I did a show on the weekend, and 3 people came and said they get their van fixed here, and they do have a mold problem because they downloaded the mold checklist sheet.
Okay, sorry, Glenn. Can you just repeat that again? So I'm going to
you're going to build a form, right?
Build a form
that'll say, get your free mold checklist now, which is the information that Nora's going to give you, right? She can give it to you in a PDF.
Yep.
All right. And it's going to say first name, last name, email address, because we've got to be able to email it to you.
Yep.
Right. You could even, depending on how sophisticated you are, you could even have it as a download as soon as they enter their details. But and P.S. Before you go, if you had to get your caravan repaired, are any of these people, right, where you'd get it repaired? And so I'd have, like ABC repairers, DEF repairers, however many you've got, and then write the last option should be other, so that they have to complete one of those.
Done.
So if it just said ABC caravans at Dandenong, right, or wherever they are, make sure it's got a suburb, right? Because if they don't recognize the name, they might sort of say, oh, Dandenong's the closest, so I'd go there, because you're in Melbourne, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So wherever 5 suburbs are, it's a little bit of trickery, but because they haven't, they might not be a customer of that place yet.
Yep.
But if they did have a problem, then they would Google it and find, oh, there's one at Dandenong, I'd go there. So
done.
That's what I'd use.
I was also.
It also, sorry, gives you warm leads as well, Jono, because you're going to go to the repairers that they flagged, right? You're going to have that opening conversation and say, I've just done an exhibition, and there are these many clients of yours, and you're missing out on this business.
100%. So you recommend I don't actually sell it, but I get leads? Because I was thinking if I'm gonna, because I can get the lady that does all of our product shoots to take some really cracker photos, chuck it on the website, and yeah, if they want it, they can buy it off the website, and I'll say the lead time's 2 weeks.
Yep.
If they want to
Don't get me
repair,
wrong. If someone wants to buy it there and then, always sell it to them. Yes.
so that's what I was going to do. I was going to put it on the website because at this show, I want to have our new innovative products, and I want to have the nature defense push. But I want to say that because we're only B2B, we only deal with manufacturers. But the other comp do retail, where anyone can buy bloody gas struts, vents, whatever.
Yep.
And I was going to promote that we've now opened for retail. And we've also partnered with a company, Nature's Defense, and we're also selling this.
Yeah.
So yeah, I should put it up on the website.
Definitely. Absolutely.
Done. I'll send you the photos as well, Nora. I'll get it going.
Fantastic.
Done.
Okay.
Yeah, I honestly thought that, the caravan repair market's just not there and shit. But I think there's some bright hope, 100%. But
Okay, so you need to become the authority. So set the diffuser up, find someone that's got mold, set the diffuser up, run it, do it firsthand, get that experience yourself.
Yep.
And Jono, if you haven't done that online training,
I got to get to it.
Okay, it takes an hour. Okay.
And then I was saying to Nora that I originally thought that it was going to be a high conversion product, and
sounds like someone else on the call.
And yeah, I just got to treat it like a normal customer and just nurture them. And if it's a couple no's, the third one will be yes. But with this and creating demand now, the conversion will be there, and there just has to be people out there bloody molding their vans.
Well, let's put it this way. Glenn has found 22 people willing to pay $1,000 to $1,500 without issue.
Yeah, so without even getting the kit. They never get a kit. They're going to have to pay $1,000 to $1,500 every time.
Just to get the work done, just to get it clear.
Yeah, but by the way, we have gone to people now like almost every year. There are some people that said, you know what, Glenn, it's $1,500, come every year and do it. The NRMA people, I've spoken to them, they've already booked us for next year. We went to a vet place the other day and they're like, oh, Glenn, it's $1,500, just get up there and clean it. Yeah. And you should have seen me, though, when I first sold to this vet. We'll come in, we'll put the diffusers up 24 hours and stuff like that, and we'll come and do the work up there. It's $1,500. And they went, yep, okay. Now, they rang up the other day and they want us to go in. And I walked in and went, hey, I've been here before. I don't need to walk in the vets and stuff like that. You want to get it? It's $1,500. I'll send you an invoice, pay it, and we'll come back. Okay, Glenn, no problems. Well, I literally was going to walk in there and went, hang on a tick, I recognize this. We've done this before. No. I'm not going in there with all the dogs and stuff like that. I don't need to do that. $1,500, I'll send you an invoice, paid. So even in less than 12 months, my mindset is like, no, I don't need to beg them now anymore. All right. I'm not even nervous about saying $1,500 now. Like, if you don't want to do it, that's okay.
Next.
However, I'm not going to let people tell me that it won't work. Same as the person, with the tender. I'm not going to let someone say, don't put in the tender, because I learned a lot of stuff in that process. And by the way, me learning all that stuff goes into the next time I do a tender, which I will get, and then I'll go, it won't be because I put that tender in. It'll be because I learn how to do. And I asked the Newcastle Uni, give me feedback. Well, this and this needed to be addressed. Okay, great. Thank you. So they'll be in my next tender. I never want to make the same mistake again and again and again. So when someone says no, it's my chance to learn. Why didn't you buy? What was it? So it was 1,597. Okay. So you're saying to me, and I just repeated back to them, Jono. So you're saying to me that 1,597 for your family's health, when you've got kids under 18 and their lungs, it's too dear. Is that what you're saying to me?
So you're saying
Here's the key. Just repeat back what they've told you.
Okay.
All right. So that's the trick. So and I did it to you on this call. So Jono, let me see if I've got this right. You've been to 5 people, 3 people which knew you and trusted you 6 out of 10, right? And 2 people that were new, right? Mm-hmm. And when I repeated it back to you, you felt a little bit silly, didn't you? Because I'm sort of going, you expected in this call, huh?
Made me feel like safe.
Okay.
I feel like
so
if you're
all you're doing is
feel safe.
You have to get to them that you understand what they've just said to you. Let me get this right. You've done this and this and this. And then you shut up and listen to them because they'll correct you if you're not right. Or they'll say, yep, that's right. And then you can go in and give them advice or pitch them. Right. But until they feel like you understand what they're going through,
yep,
they'll always keep running around in circles.
Yeah, 100%.
So let me get this right, Mr. Caravan owner or repair business. You're not making any money. You're behind in your bills, and you don't want new ideas to get you out of the hole. Is that right? Okay. All right. I reckon that'd be really difficult trying to do that. Yeah.
All right, done. I think that's the repairs service market wrapped. At the start, when I said, only the cleaners, is because
I didn't take that as insulting.
The cleaning market, I feel like, is massive for this product. I've spoken to a couple cleaners.
Mm-hmm.
One cleaner with 20 clients that wanted me to go pitch to them.
Mm-hmm.
But we've talked about this before, and we've got to get him to them. But he reckons he can sell it. I just got to go back to him properly. I've got another
The same thing for that 20 clients, right? If he took a brochure and said, hey, take these brochures to your clients, right? And if you've ever had mold in your thing, come back to that cleaner you're talking to and say, yeah, I want to do something about mold. Reverse engineer it. If the cleaner doesn't want to do it, right, and wants you to go to do all the work, just to say, hey, mate, tell you what, how about you pass these out to your 20 clients when you next go, and we'll talk to the ones where the customers sort of say, hey, listen, yeah, I've got a mold problem. Didn't know you did that.
All right, done.
All right. I'm going to be an old man and go and relax in a bath.
Make sure you stay afloat, okay? You drown, the world will lose a good salesperson.
All right, guys. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Good luck, Jono. I look forward to hearing about your success, mate.
Appreciate it, Glenn. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Glenn.
You're welcome, Nora. Bye.
Okay. Bye, honey. Okay, Jono, I'm just going to stop the recording.
Glenn's a gun.